Hello everyone, I'm Jay, but you can call me what you like, and welcome to Blueprints, one of my favorite games of all time. For those of you who don't know, this is kind of a puzzle exploration roguelike game. There's a lot of categories to this game. This game falls underneath a ton of different genres, but it's an amazing kind of like exploration game where you explore the estate of your late granduncle something or another, Herbert S. Sinclair. And essentially, what you're trying to do is discover the secret 46 room to his 45 room estate by going through the mansion and unlocking different rooms as you explore the mansion. Every day basically gives you a certain amount of steps. You run out of steps, you can't explore rooms, and you have to start the day all over. And the more you play, the more information you gain. It's a really, really fun game, and I'm really excited to be playing it on the channel again. And for those of you who just noticed what I just said, yes, this is not my first time playing this on the channel. This is one of those series I've just never completed before, whether it's on this channel or another channel, but I want to really give it my best go. I've actually never completed the game. I don't know what most of the game is like. I've only made it as far up as like day 20, I think. Which sounds like a lot, but there is a lot to check out in this game. So if you guys are down with that, let's get into it. Get this ball rolling. All right, let's get this party started. Here we are at the Mount Holly estate. Crazy that this dude called this place a house. This is like a giant mansion. I don't really know if you could call this a house per se. 45 rooms doesn't seem very house-like to me. That's almost like a small apartment complex. God, the money we can make if we rented out all these rooms. Oh my God. All right, so here we got the lobby of the estate. Got a letter waiting for us. It says, open only in the event of my death. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as they did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of this bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been farther from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel like I should bring to your attention. 1. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. 2. Tools and items found in the estate may not be taken off of the estate. And 3. You may not stay overnight. I do not suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself. But it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice. Do not assume that the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half a century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead. With all my love and wishes, best of luck, Herbert S. Sinclair. And that's our grand uncle. I think that's what it is, grand uncle. We have something over here on the table. We have the Mount Holly blueprint. This will serve as a useful map and inventory log during your adventure. You may access the blueprint menu by using tab. All right, we got the Mount Holly estate blueprint. We are on day number 1. We got 50 steps. Steps represent how much energy you have left for exploring. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step. When you no longer have any steps left, you must call it a day. Okay. Anything else I could click on? I could click on the call it a day button, but I don't think I want to. We have the antechamber. From its root meaning, the room before, all signs and paths point towards the antechamber. This mysterious sealed room, resting on the knife rank, may prove, however, quite an initial challenge to even reach, let alone enter. Still, you can't help but draw a connection between this chamber and room 46. Okay. We have ourselves the entrance hall. Past the steps and beyond the grand doors, admission to Mount Holly is granted by way of a dark and garish lobby, suitably called the entrance hall. From here, each guest adventure begins. However, 3 doors that proceed onward do not always lead to the same adjoining rooms. Awesome. And each room has a different type and rarity. It has a permanent blueprint and rarity of NA. Cool. I don't know how much reading I'm going to be doing up on all the rooms themselves, but, you know, I might check it out every once in a while. What's this over here? Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and must call it a day. Awesome. That's the second thing explaining what the whole deal is with the step counter. Okay, so I believe, yeah, I believe we can head in any direction and just kind of get the ball rolling. So we can open a door here. So we have a series of rooms to select from a draft. So we have a bedroom, a closet, and a hallway. Bedroom has the connection of, or the ability of, whenever you enter this room, you gain 2 steps. Closet has 2 items inside of it, and a hallway is just a hallway. I think for the most part, I'd like to start the day with some items, I guess. I know I'm already using up some steps, but hey, it is what it is. We got a gem and a key, which should be pretty important for our adventure moving forward. Awesome. We got actually specifically a silver key. I don't really know what that does, but here, actually, let me check. Maybe it told me and I just didn't read it because I thought it was a normal key. Unlocking a door with a silver key will lead to a room with many doors. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, let's head over here. Oh, and we can also see the blueprint map as we unlock it here. That's cool. That's a really good thing to keep note of. All right. So we can draft the nook, the corridor, which is always left unlocked, or the spare room. It feels like having a door that's always left unlocked is going to be important later, especially since the existence of keys is a thing. Um, I think I want to get the spare room here, just for the sake of being able to progress forward. But before I enter there, I can check what's up here. Okay. We have some interesting choices again. We got parlor, nook, and corridor. I just said I don't really want to choose corridor, so I'll go ahead and choose parlor. And this room is actually pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check this out first. Let's check out the parlor real quick. So this room is really cool because it actually has a kind of like a what's it called, like a puzzle game, parlor game inside of it. Actually, we have a letter from May the 2nd. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine in your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is to rival hers. If I could refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Lowry. There will always be at least one box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least one box which displays only false statements. Only one box has a prize within, the other 2 are always empty. And we can go ahead and get this item here. We got the rather curious wind-up key, a component of the parlor game. Awesome. So yeah, so just like how that letter detailed, we have 3 boxes right here. One of them will always tell a lie, one of them will always be true, the other one might but only one of them has the treasure inside of it, and it's kind of our job to figure out which one of the 3 has the prize inside of it. So from left to right, we have the black box contains gems. Then we have this one right here in the middle. This box and the blue box are both empty, which does not conflict with that at all. So this one could be telling the truth based off of what this one says, and this one says all 3 boxes are empty. So this one's completely false. So we know this one is lying. This one supports this one to a sense. And with that being said, it says the black box contains gems. So we open up the black box. It should be the one with the gems. Yep. Keep in mind that the game is not really here to have you try to figure out which one of them is telling the truth, because there could always be 2 people telling the truth. There could be 2 boxes telling the truth, or just one of them telling the truth. It's really to figure out which box has the gems in it specifically. So sometimes the box that tells lies has the gems in it, sometimes it's the one that tells the truth, and sometimes it's just kind of the neutral one that kind of just backs one of them up. It could be in any box, you just gotta figure out which one. I guess we could keep exploring through this route. Alright, we got a nook, which is kind of facing the wrong way because it just runs straight into a room. We don't really want that per se. We have a storeroom, which is a dead end, but it gives us a key, a gem, and what seems to be a coin. Again, I don't want to do corridor. Corridor feels really important to waste so early, so I'll go ahead and just get this stuff here. Not a whole lot of other options anyway. Okay, let's head back to the entrance hall so we can go ahead and check out what's over here past the spare room. Not doing too bad. Getting to see a lot of different things. Okay, so we have the lavatory, the guest bedroom, and the pantry. Guest bedroom gives us 10 steps, however, it's a dead end. Same thing with the lavatory. And if we were to select the dead end room right now, that would be the end of the day. There's nothing we could do to recover this run. So I'm not going to choose either of those two because I don't really care about that right now. I just want to go ahead and continue exploring as much as possible today. And the pantry also has some coins for us, as well as it seems like some food, which I guess makes sense. It's the pantry. Got ourselves a banana worth 3 steps. Cool. Alright, this letter says, Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread, an evil spread, would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover the expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Okay, so I'm guessing that because we just ate a banana, which is worth 3, each one of these different types of fruit is worth a different step value. So 5 bananas must add up to 15. There's a hierarchy order to it. So if I'm having to guess, it's probably like apples are worth 5, bananas are worth 3, and oranges are worth 2. Because then that would be 5 apples, which would be 25, plus 5 bananas, which would be 15. So 25 plus 15 is 40. Then 5 oranges, with oranges being 2, would be 10. That gives us up to 50. Awesome. Cool. Kind of weird that we're being given our steps, though. Like, steps are not like an actual mechanic in this world. They're just like, you know, like something that got predetermined for this challenge specifically, it feels like. It'd be great to like have a run of like no steps being counted at all. Like maybe it's like post game, like super late game or super post game where you don't have to worry about steps. You can just fully explore as much as your heart's content. We have a couple rooms here. We have a commissary which has items for sale. We do have 5 coins, so maybe we could get something there. We have chapel. Whenever you enter the chapel, lose a coin. I don't really like the sound of that. However, it does have great connectivity. It goes north and it goes over to the left. I forget my cardinal direction, so please forgive me for that. Do I want chapel or do I want commissary? I guess I could always get something. There's always a chance for me to draw something that leads up north anyway. Plus, I kind of like having my coins, and the only time I would like to not have my coins is if I'm buying something. So I'll use up a gem, which is a requirement to unlock that room anyway. We have something interesting here. It's like an arcade cabinet. When is the game set place again? Like 19... Actually, when is this game set place? I didn't even click that in my head. Why is there an arcade cabinet here? This feels like... I thought this game was like early 1900s. Huh, okay. We do have a shop. Let's check out what's here. We have gems that can be bought with coins. Cool. A salt shaker, which I don't know what that does. We got a shovel, which seems pretty cool. And a key. Okay. So I think I might want to pick up the shovel. I think I know what the shovels are for. Salt shakers I'm not too familiar with. Or at least I don't remember what they do. I've played this game before once or twice, but I've only made it up to day 20, and sometimes sometimes it doesn't mean very much. So okay, we got a staff notice. It says, effective first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Terminal password, something that's scribbled out. We have some notes here, some post-it notes. It says with and without. So we have a minecart and an old-timey, I forget what kind of card that's called. But I guess an old-timey car and a minecart. that has something that's with it, that has something that's without it. I don't really know what to do with that. I think this is the first time I've paid attention to this corkboard, actually. A commissary will be closed from day 12 to day 16. Okay. Sorry for any inconvenience. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Alright. Cool. Nothing in the trash can. Let's see what's our next room looking like. Ooh, okay. We got some interesting options. I'm very... Oh, I was gonna say I'm very happy with what we picked before, but never mind. It leads to dead ends. Oh no. Damn, that's rough. Okay. So we got courtyard that has a gem requirement, a guest bedroom, which gives us 10 steps, and a hallway. Hallway doesn't lead to anywhere. None of this will lead to anywhere. So I guess I might as well check out what the courtyard is. I think I know exactly what the courtyard's about. Oh. Well, look at this. We don't have to buy the shovel anymore. Okay, cool. I really wasn't expecting that. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like it could be useful for digging. So there should be these dig spots here on the ground. Yeah, there is. And we have a chance to get special items. What's this? Appears to be a broken lever. Could prove to be useful. Well, not this run, it won't. Oh man. We got a worthless old shoe, not worth picking up, so I guess I won't. What a shame. And yeah, that's everything. That's everything to check out for today. That's our first run completely done and over with. It was a really short run. Sometimes these runs can be really long and sometimes these runs can be really short. That's kind of what I meant before when I said that, you know, getting up to day 20 really doesn't mean anything because your days can end as short as this one here. If not, sometimes even shorter if you play the game too badly. So yeah, I mean, I guess while we're here, we could check out the outside of the estate. We have all these extra steps to spare. We can see what's out here on the outside. We got something over here. We have a fountain. Oh, I can make a wish. Cool. Actually, I haven't done that before. Oh, I made a little splash thing. Oh, can I throw more coins in there? I want to see the splash thing again. That's cool. Oh, okay. That is a borderline. That's a boundary. We have an open gate, which I'm guessing is how we got in. There's a closed gate over there, which I'm probably not even really gonna bother with. We have a bird bath. Some crazy views. My God. Wow. Look at that. Also, I'm just noticing, is that mountain over there? Is that like, are the inner edges of that mountain just cut out? Clouds aren't moving, so I can't really tell. But it feels like that mountain over there is doing a weird shape thing, like a spade. Yeah, that mountain is not mounting correctly. Okay. Well, let me just ignore that for now. It's none of my business. I don't get to judge a mountain. Okay, there's a closed gate over here. Okay, I wonder if there's a way to leave the estate? That would be insane. I don't know how deep this game runs. If there's a way to like actually like properly leave the estate and go explore the world around it, that'd be insane. We got the campsite, the grounds. We got the campsite. Due to rules set forth on your great uncle's will, you are now allowed to stay in the estate overnight. Luckily, however, your scouting skills have been put to good use to fabricate a very respectable off-site sleeping quarters. You may call it a day at any time from the blueprint menu to return to the campsite for the night. Oh, so this is our actual home base. Okay, cool. Doesn't seem like there's anything special around here, but that's sick. Okay, we made ourselves a little campsite. I dig that. I respect that. We have something else here. Oh, we have like a code? Oh, why haven't I explored this before? Huh. Okay. Cool. Man, there's a lot to explore outside the estate. I've not personally been outside of the estate. At least not this far out. I think I've stepped out once or twice, but You know, it's kind of like it's typically like a gameplay loop thing, or like there's stuff you'll see in the future that where a lot of what I'm saying makes sense. I'm just trying not to spoil anything for those of you who haven't seen or played the game before, which I doubt there's very many of you. This game is, I believe, nominated for Game of the Year for 2025, and I think it won. I could be crazy, but I don't know if it won Game of the Year, but it was nominated, and it was very, this game is incredibly popular. I think there's even an update of some kind planning to release soon, which is another reason why I figured it'd be a good idea for me to like check out the game and actually sit through and play through as much of it on the channel as possible. That's interesting over there. There's like a whole ruins over there. Again, that mountain is so odd. Sorry. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm gonna end things off here today. If you guys enjoyed, stick around, there'll be more like it in the future. And speaking of more like it, I will be playing this game a lot on the channel. I hope you guys are prepared. I needed a little bit of a break from Baba Is You as the main series on the channel, mostly because I just can't keep up with the game. I honestly don't know how long I'll be playing that game. uh I don't know how much longer I'll be playing it for, just because a lot of the puzzles seem to be eluding me really often, to the point where it takes me like a day or two worth of time to solve a puzzle. So you guys might not be seeing a whole lot more about As You, or maybe I'll come by and upload it every once in a blue moon again, but for the most part, I think I want this game to be my main focus. I've already played through about 10-20 games, not 10-20, about 20 or so days worth of the game. So I know I'm really gonna enjoy the series. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.